This time I will try to explain about few verses from Bible which are indicating that Jesus not the God. For example, John chapter 2 verse number 21 is saying, but the temple he had spoken of was his body. Now, by this verse, what was he trying to say? He was trying to say, after the return of Jesus Christ in this world and his death, he will die in this world, his body will be buried in a grave, and his grave will become like a temple. But it does not mean that people will go to his grave to worship him as like a God. People will go there to pray to God for his peace, so God will bless him, just as like when someone go to a grave of their relative and pray to God for their peace and to bless them. So it means that he is also a human who will die one day and people will bury him in a grave. Jesus said in Mark chapter 14 verse number 36, Abba, Father, he said, everything is possible for you. Take this cup from me. Yet not what I will, but what you will. Now, my question is, if he sacrificed himself, then why did he pray and say all those words before his crucifixion? He knew that he was going to be crucified. That's why he said those same words in several times. And before his crucifixion, at the garden, he said those words again and prayed to God, so God will help him not to be crucified, so he can finish his job, which was not finished yet. But God didn't help him, and he was crucified. And it's a big point to notice that as a prophet, other prophets didn't punished or crucified like him. And as a prophet of God, why didn't God help Jesus as he helped him before and other prophets in several times? And if Jesus is the God, why couldn't he help himself? It's a big question. In Timothy 1, chapter 6, verse number 13 to 15 is saying, in the sight of God who gives life to everything, and of Jesus Christ, who will testifying before Pontius Pilate made the good confession, I charge you to keep this command without spot or blame until the appearing of our Lord Jesus Christ, which God will bring about in his own time. God, the blessed and only ruler, the King of kings, the Lord of lords, who alone is immortal and who lives in unapproachable light, who no one has seen or can see, to him be honor and might forever. Amen. Now, I'd like to say to those people who worship Jesus Christ as God, if you concentrate more in Old Testament rather than New Testament, then the verses that I read right now will give all your answers about who that one and only God is. These verses are saying he is the only ruler, he is the King of kings, he is the Lord of lords, he is alone, he is immortal, no one has seen him or can see. But the point is, people saw Jesus, and again people will see him after he returned to this earth, and people will bury him in a grave after his death, because he is also a human just like us, not the God.